I was so pleased with the way these sashiko style denim upcycled coasters came out that I decided to make another denim project. So I've got plenty of the fabric left over from my project. These are just old jeans that I washed and decided to cut up to use the fabric to upcycle and recycle and just make some new things with. And I thought, let's make some jewellery. I absolutely love the half moon style necklaces, and I decided to treat myself to some of the proper cotton sashiko or sashiko thread. Got mine from Amazon. Now I've also decided to add some gold to this. I just wanted it to be a little bit shiny, a little bit abstract, and I thought let's use some gold foil and we can put it on using some of this adhesive that is called Heat and Bond Light. I use this quite a lot for making applique. I cut several pieces of the denim into circles, and this is for the necklace, and I'm going to fold it over to make a half moon shape. Now I wanted the foil to be quite abstract, quite organic looking. I didn't want it to be a geometric shape or anything like that, so I didn't die cut it. I decided just to tear out a little piece of the adhesive so that it sits in the middle and then it's framed by some of the stitching that I'm going to put on it. So I just tore a little piece out and I'm going to apply that using an iron onto the denim fabric circles. I think these circles are about 3.5 inches in diameter, but I'll put all the details on my Ko-fi page, so if you want to follow along you'll be able to find that in the slow stitching section in the gallery. So I've pulled that piece off, and what I'm going to do is just put that adhesive onto there using my little travel iron. I only use this for crafts, so I'm okay if it gets a little bit of gunk on it, but if you've got the backing paper on it should be fine. And I use a 2-spot iron just to iron that in place, and then I can add the foil on top. I did the same thing with the earring shapes. I'm actually using full circles for the earrings, and I'm just adding one small one on top of the slightly larger one. And again I'm just tearing a little piece of the Heat and Bond Light and adding it adhesive side down onto the denim, and then I'm going to iron that on in place, and when I take the backing paper off it'll reveal that lovely shiny adhesive that I can then add foil on top of. I did have to do it twice for the necklace shape just because I was too quick to remove the foil, so it does pay when you've ironed the foil on just to let it sit for a little while and cool off, and then I think a little bit more foil came off. So there you can see the Heat and Bond Light. It's like a shiny adhesive that's on there, and then if you put something on top of that and iron it, that will then stick on there. I use it quite a lot for fabric, but do make sure if you're using foil that you cover it up to protect it, to protect your iron, because if you just put the iron straight onto the foil it will just, it's plastic, you see, it will just sort of crinkle up and not stick on. So I just used a little piece of note paper on top of there, but usually I use a bit of baking parchment just to protect my iron. Once I'd ironed that piece of foil on, I had to just leave it to sit for a few moments and then pull it off, and the foil is stuck underneath. There'll be instructions for whatever foil you use. Mine's donkey's years old and I got it from an old printers, but you can get it on the internet. I think it's the sort of stuff, it's heat activated, so it's the sort of stuff that you get for the gold foiling machines. So my next stage is to add some stitching, and I went with a really simple straight stitch. I'm just doing that around the curve of the base of this because I'm going to make it a sort of half moon shape, as it were. I'm just doing that bottom half with stitches, and I'm going to do several rows of the straight stitch just around that bottom curve. I do several rows, and this is really effective because the white is quite a contrast to the lovely blue, and where the foil hasn't adhered to the Heat and Bond Light it's still quite shiny, but it does make the denim slightly darker, so it's a really nice contrast with that, and it has the effect of just framing that abstract gold in the middle, and it just looks really nice. So I do several rows, and it's a really relaxing process to do, as you know, when you're doing this type of stitching. The colours just look really nicely together, that blue and the gold and the white. It's a really nice combination, so I'm very happy with the way that turned out. Now that's done a lovely job of framing that gold, but I did think it'd be nice to have another embellishment in the middle, so I decided to have a look to see what I'd got to add in the middle. At first I thought it'd be nice to add maybe a crystal like lapis lazuli, but then I had a look in my stash and I found these bicones that I bought a little while ago, and these are just I think they're Czech crystal bicones, so they've got a lovely sort of iridescent shimmer to them. Thought I'll just add a little sprinkling of those in the middle, so I use this lovely denim coloured cotton thread to attach them. I added a few little seed stitches in the middle as well, just to add a bit more texture, and then I put the bicones in the middle there, just in a random way. I wanted it to be quite abstract, and then I added the backing part so that it covered all my other stitches, and I just used the same sort of denim coloured cotton thread and did a blanket stitch all the way around the outside just to attach that extra circle around the back to neaten it up. And then to create a little channel for the chain to go through, I just folded the edge, the top edge over, and that made that lovely sort of half moon-ish shape. And then I could attach a chain in it, just threaded a chain through using a bodkin. I did the same sort of thing on the earrings, but I went all the way around the edge, and of course used the backing piece as well. And I just used a few less of the bicones on the earrings, and then just attached those circles together, and then added a little finding on the back of there. So if you haven't seen the coaster video, then I'll link that above so that you can see it, and please give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed the video and consider subscribing, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care, bye.